Whether you made the Sports Illustrated swimsuit magazine, are in the Victoria's Secret fashion show, or find yourself on this week's Hot in the Hobby, you're doing something right as of late. What's up, YouTube? And welcome in to this week's episode of Hot in the Hobby. I'm your host, Mr. Hollywood. I have Joe Nasty here to my right, and yes, you may recognize him from the latest Sports Illustrated swimsuit men's edition. Cover boy.
Thank you.
Over here.
Thank you for acknowledging.
But so goes baseball is well in swing, and so goes the hot baseball cards. And we find ourselves with 4 hotties from the baseball diamond and another from the hardwood of the NBA. And playoffs have just started as well.
Yeah.
So let's hop right in with someone who is doubling up and making this list for the second week in a row. He's been so good. And I know you don't love talking about people multiple weeks in a row, but I don't choose these.
What's hot is hot.
Let's just say, what's hot is hot, and that is Tyler Soderstrom, who is burning hot. First baseman for the Oakland Athletics, his 2020 Bowman Draft Sapphire Chrome First, and a PSA 10 is up 319% over the past week to $90 per card. This was a $20 card a week ago. We could have used a bunch of different Tyler Soderstrom cards. Is it Soderstrom or Soderstrom?
I'm going to assume it's Soderstrom. I can look if you need.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So far in 2025, Tyler S.
Mr. S.
is hitting 325 with 9 home runs, 19 RBIs, a 384 OBP, and a 1.085 OPS. He leads the MLB in home runs. However, he is still a 228 career hitter in the major leagues, who is averaging nearly 200 strikeouts a season if you expand it out. So this is obviously a major hot streak. He is made to hit home runs. That's actually quite a pretty swing. I don't know how much Mr. S you've watched over the years, but it's actually quite a pretty swing. I don't know how he swings and misses so much. All these numbers are obviously going to come down considerably as the season wears on. Because if they don't, then he's probably... I don't know if this type of improvement is... it would be very fishy.
It would. Jerks and Profar type.
Yeah, so I would consider this extremely high risk, honestly, and I ain't buying it with what's going on. But Tyler Soderstrom, I can't. He's on Hot Cards of the Week for the second week in a row. Not a lot of people do that.
Look, if you can promise me that the ball will be in play a lot, then great. I'm all in. That's his thing. He is a power threat. He came up as a power prospect, like the A's brought him up with the thought process that this will be a big bopper in the middle of their order. So if the ball's in play, super cool. The hot start is great. But if you've heard it once, you've heard it a million, gazillion, gajillion times. Hot starts are one thing. Baseball and your career is all about how you adjust to the league's adjustment. So within the next month or so, they will start adjusting their approach to him. And then it's how does he adjust to that?
Yeah.
Because obviously he did something over the offseason. He came in prepared mentally, physically, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now the league will start thinking maybe some more breaking balls at his feet, maybe some more fastballs high. I don't know what his adjustment will be. So then what does he do from there? And then we start talking some more about Soderstrom.
The analytics will start to come out.
They'll see where to attack.
Yeah.
Can he emphasize on the mistakes?
Yeah.
Can he lay off this, that, whatever?
And then it just comes down to, again, we've talked about it many times. You can have very high highs, but the question becomes, the truly elite players, they don't really have the super low lows.
They have lows. It's how long are
they have lows, but we'll see. You'll see Aaron Judge go a couple weeks hitting 100. You'll see it. He did it to start not this season, but last season.
Yeah.
You'll see Shohei do it. You'll see all these players do it for a couple weeks, but they do not ever go into these like 2-month long slumps where they can't hit the baseball. And so it's going to come down to that for Tyler Soderstrom. If Mr. S is consistent approach and
it's
like
Soderstrom.
You said, puts the ball in play, right? Then yeah, I think you have a legitimate player here. But the fact of the matter is, and yes, the strikeouts are down so far this year because he's just seeing the ball very well so far. But yeah, if he does strike out 200 times, then I'm out.
You know what's wild? He's a very young player, right? Is he a rookie? Technically?
No.
First or second year player?
Yeah, I think it's his. I want to say it's his second. It might be his third, actually.
What if him being a really young player, hitting in the minor league ballpark is actually like comforting?
Yeah, maybe.
It's what he's been accustomed to. Like he's not overly accustomed to.
Yeah.
Because they say when you go to the big leagues, it's the triple deck stadiums that are the big adjustment.
I mean, he's hitting him in both places, no?
He is. But
so.
if half of his games are going to be at a minor league park,
yeah, maybe
he really feels at home.
Maybe he is feeling comfortable. But moving on to hot card number 2, and that is Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's look at his 2024 Topps base rookie card in raw condition because it is up 516% over the past week.
I bet it is.
To $6 per card. There's the card.
Looks good.
This was a 99-cent card last week. And again, I kind of like it when we have these like 99-cent cards on the show, or a $6 card makes the show.
Yeah.
You know, because let's be honest, not everyone is buying $100 cards or $1,000 cards or $10,000 cards. What's wrong with a $6 card every now and then?
Nothing.
The PSA 10 of this is sitting at $22, which, by the way, is basically the cost to grade the card to begin with. So I don't know why we're grading this base card. But 2025, 3-1 so far, win-loss for Yoshi. He has a 0.93 ERA and a 0.86 whip. He has thrown 29 innings. He has struck out 38 batters. He is just a couple of good starts away from matching his WAR from all of last year already.
Sure.
But we've talked about Yamamoto a decent amount already.
I'd say
over the past 6 months.
A decent amount's accurate, yeah.
Yeah. And this is not a shocker, right? The Dodgers, who are arguably the best team. No, that's not arguable. They're the best team in baseball. They're the World Series champions, right? They're the best team in baseball. They have probably one of the top 3 scouting departments in all of baseball that decided to sign a 25-year-old at the time to a $325 million deal without having thrown a single pitch in the major leagues. Did you really think the Dodgers were going to give $325 million to someone who was going to be a bust?
No.
No. They gave it to him for a reason, and this is why.
There's definitely no Tawny tax of him, like he wanted this guy on his team.
For sure, but even the Dodgers aren't going to spend, I mean, this is a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Biggest in history.
And since the World Series last year, since the postseason, since his first postseason start last year, Yamamoto has essentially been untouchable. And I mean like untouchable. His ERA is under 1.
Yep.
No pitcher has been better over the last 6 months than Yamamoto. I actually love, if you're looking slightly higher than the $6 mark, I actually really like his Radiating Rookies card. I actually pulled one of those out of what set was it? I forget what set it was out of last year, honestly. But I actually pulled one of those. And that card in a PSA 10 last sold for $210 just as the season was getting underway. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I think that card is probably worth darn close to $300 now, even though it has not sold in a PSA 10 for $300 yet. So if you're looking for a higher end one, I'd probably target the Radiating Rookies in a PSA 10 around the $300 mark. But so far, Yamamoto through 23 career starts is 10-3 with a 2.5 ERA and a 1.05 whip. And that is with a horrific start at the very beginning.
Worst possible.
Which is perennial Cy Young type level numbers, which is what we expected from the beginning.
Yeah. Look, he's got such a small sample size, unfortunately, due to the injury last year, that you can pretty easily go through and go start by start,
Right.
and see, oh yeah, he's good. Tough start, started in Korea, weird situation, getting used to the whole thing, working his way up, had the start against the Yankees in June where he was lights out, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
Built his way up, had game 1 of the playoffs against the Padres, which was not a good start, and basically ever since then, untouchable. I'm going to toot my own horn on this one. We talked about him, and the last time we talked about him, I said, he's good. Like, just flat out, this is a really, really good pitcher. He's been good. Like I said, the body of work leading up to the injury, he was untouchable in the Bronx in the biggest regular season series of the year. And you're probably now too late to get on board. Like, the start speaks for itself. And you talked about it is if the Dodgers of all teams, like he's on this team with the best scouting and analytics. Yes, but it's not just that. It's also the fact that every single team wanted him. Like, your favorite team wanted him. You may be a hater, but Ken Rosenthal told the story on the Fox broadcast during the playoffs. I can't remember if it was the Mets or if it was the Yankees, if it was Steve Cohen or if it was Brian Cashman.
They offered him more.
Well, the Mets definitely offered him more, but someone was having a meeting with him in December. Unfortunately for them, it was in Los Angeles. And Yamamoto was sitting there in a sunny December day, and whichever New York higher up was sitting there like, oh, we're not going to get him. This is unfortunate. We're going to fly back to the snow. Everyone wanted him. And every single team...
Phillies wanted him.
Phillies wanted him, and were willing to pay him more. So it's like, yes, the team that obviously gets all the headlines right now ended up with him and has excellent scouting and preparation, and it's a good fit, but he was already very good. Your favorite team wanted him. Like, he's not a 99-mile-per-hour merchant.
Yeah.
He's throwing 96 where he wants it with a splitter that at the very last second looks like it's the same pitch and then dies.
Yeah.
And now he's mixing in a curveball.
Right.
So...
Right. Yeah.
He's good.
He's one of the best.
And they're giving him 5 days rest.
That's true.
So he said to the team, "Give me the rest I need, like I'm accustomed to in Japan, and I'll go balls to the wall every single start." And
that's what he's doing. He's throwing 6 or 7 innings, which is not. It doesn't happen a lot in this day and age to throw 6 or 7 innings.
Especially for him. At least last year. Last year he was a 5-inning merchant.
Right.
4 good innings. Get me to 5 and we're good.
But it's also...
And now he's a 6, pushing into like 6 1/3, sometimes 7 innings.
Yeah, but it's also due to his comfort level and efficiency now.
100%.
Right? He's throwing more strikes. He's challenging batters in the right places. Splitter is just...
It is an otherworldly.
It's out of this world. But moving on to hot card number 3, and it's Pete Alonso, someone who did some striking out against Yamamoto in the NLCS. Actually, who did he hit? Who did Alonso hit that homer off of? I don't even remember.
In game 2?
Yeah.
That was a bullpen game.
That was
Knackers.
So Pete Alonso, his 2019 Topps rookie card in the PSA 10 is up 63% over the past week to $34 per card, because Pete Alonso so far into 2025 is just about one of the only things that's going very well for the Mets. He's hitting .348 with 5 home runs, 21 RBIs, and a 1.175 OPS. Now, we know who Pete Alonso is. He's gonna hit.
He's a friend of the show.
Yeah, exactly. He's a homie. We talked to him. I just texted him before we got on
Peter.
the air. Yeah, hey, Peter, my man.
How's it going?
He's gonna hit probably 260, 270 at best. More likely 250 or less. He's going to hit 35 to 40 homers, but again, I don't think there's much here in terms of hobby value for an old vet that is probably going to have a within average year for himself.
Is he an old vet?
Yeah, I mean,
you're right.
He's just off to a good batting average start, realistically. And the Mets are neck and neck with the Phillies as of the filming of this. I think they're technically in first place by like half a game or something.
Good start.
As of the filming of this. So when I say Pete Alonso is one of the only things going really well for the Mets, I don't know how, but the Mets are somehow in first place. That division is weird with the Braves being cellared right now.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I still don't love the Mets pitching staff. They have a couple pitchers on the IL right now. And Tyler McGill is having the most ridiculous start to the season.
He's good.
Ever.
He's good.
Which is kind of saving them. But Mark Vientos has been anemic, although he is starting to show a little bit of signs of life. Brandon Nimmo is under 200. Juan Soto has been pretty bad, let's be honest, for someone you're paying 50 plus mil to. Jesse Winker still kind of is not good at baseball. Edwin Diaz has been awful.
Really? I didn't know that.
So the numbers don't really math, because Pete Alonso is really the only one there that's having Pete Alonso and McGill are really the only two players there, and Senga's been okay. He's been pretty good. They're the only players that have really been good.
And Lindor.
And yeah, but Lindor has been like normal. He hasn't been hasn't been like excellent, right? So to me the Mets are solid, but they're not elite unless their elite players perform in an elite way.
Sure.
So Pete Alonso, hot card. Good job, Polar Bear. I texted you yesterday congratulating you for that 348 average.
Stay chill.
Any thoughts on the Polar Bear?
Have you seen the tweet? Someone did like cartoon sound. He legged out a triple yesterday or the day before. I'll send it to you. It's super hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
It's
to see that.
got like cartoon sounds as he makes his way, and he runs really funny with his legs all askew. Finally, we get to Pete Alonso a year later, which is an inside joke for the show. When we first started, I like messaged Mr. H being like, "Hey, let's talk about Pete Alonso. He might get traded," and he was like, "That's not what we do on the show." It's like, great, but now we talk about him. I think it's nice that Pete Alonso's having a nice little, hey, this is what I'm all about after really slogging through free agency just to end up back in Queens. Like, I wanted this deal, so on and so forth. I'm an elite player. You should pay me like an elite player. Seattle, here I am. What are you doing? Just to go back for a lesser deal to the Mets. So, super cool. Like, I have no qualms with Pete Alonso. But in terms of investing your money into Pete Alonso, it's not really worthwhile. Like you said, he's pretty firmly established as a player, and like, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to stay in his lane, which is fine. This team probably needs that consistency and like
100%.
pencil him in, play a good first base. You know what you're going to get from that spot in the lineup. He is statistically at the moment like one of, if not the best hitters in baseball.
Yeah.
Is that going to hold out? Of course not.
Yeah. But I also find it funny that Juan Soto, who was questioned about his struggles recently,
He's not Aaron Judge.
replied with like, "Oh yeah, I don't have Aaron Judge anymore."
No, you have someone at the moment
who is essentially just like, okay. The crazy thing is, Pete Alonso hitting 348 with 5 homers to start the year is still nowhere close to what Aaron Judge is doing.
It's true. Look, will his value go up? The only way will be if he stays, not at this pace, but a very high pace, and he carries them to a division title. He carries them, or is a huge major part in an MVP, probably challenging type of year.
Yeah.
For another October run. And how are the Mets doing this? I don't know. They've been farting fairy dust for like 10 months now.
Yeah, I don't.
So like,
I don't know either.
like
I
they
don't know.
made the NLCS. Remember? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know how they did
and
that bad.
Devin Williams has since never recovered. He has
true.
been awful.
The guy had to shave because he was so embarrassed, and because he's a Yankee.
But we got to move to hot card number 4, and it is Aaron Judge, the outfielder for the New York Yankees. Of course, his 2017 Topps Base rookie card in the PSA 10 is up 22.7% over the past week to $180 per card. This was $135 or so last week. Aaron Judge is in a league of his own from the plate. He is hitting 385 this year with 7 homers, 22 RBIs, and a 1.240 OPS. At this point, I don't think there's any doubt that Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball. This will be his 4th consecutive year with a 1,000 plus OPS. He could flirt with a 1,200 OPS this year. Total video game numbers.
That's absurd.
If he does not get hurt, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's going to hit 65 homers this year, which in my mind is the all-time record because McGuire and Bonds don't count.
Still hard to hit a baseball.
Yeah, it is.
I feel you.
The Yankees they're off to a first place start still, even without Garrett Cole. And they had Luis Heel hurt for a little while, and Stroman's been god-awful.
Terrible.
I don't love them come playoff time unless they do acquire pitching at the deadline. And we've talked about this before. I think Aaron Judge value is really weird because he has these types of seasons and then no one cares in the offseason and his cards like crater back down to what they were. When Ohtani has these crazy seasons, the cards go way up in value and then just never come back down. They just keep going up. So Judge is for sure the best hitter, right? But Ohtani, and this goes for in the minds of investors too, is a better overall baseball player. He's more unique, more investment worthy because he's once in a lifetime, because he's also pitches. And I understand the argument of when's the last time Ohtani pitched? Well, I can tell you it was 2 seasons ago, But
When was the last time Aaron Judge pitched? It's high school.
well, yeah, but also like look at Babe Ruth's career. Do you know Babe Ruth pitched the first 4 to 5 seasons of his career, and that was it. He made two or three starts after that in a 20-year career, right? This is the same exact thing with Ohtani. We don't go saying, "Oh, when's the last time Babe Ruth pitched?" That's not an argument.
No.
That's not an argument. Because pitching at this level is a massive deal. It overrides the fact that Aaron Judge is a better hitter than Shohei Ohtani.
I agree.
It just does.
Ohtani also runs.
But, yeah, he does. But Judge is by far, and I mean, I don't even think it's close. I think Judge is significantly better than Ohtani at the plate.
As a
pure hitter, I think he's significantly better than Ohtani.
If they're both in the batter's box?
Yes. You factor in Ohtani's speed, then we start to level the playing field. But as a pure hitter, Aaron Judge is probably the best that we will see in this current generation.
In this generation, yes. Because as you were going over the minutia, I was like, okay, so he's the best right-handed slugger since, and my thought process went...
Mark McGwire.
Well, I was going to say Pujols.
Or Pujols, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Sluggers.
Right-handed?
Right-handed, yeah.
I think he's better than Pujols.
I would have to do a comparison, like one's in the midst.
Pujols never had these types of numbers. Never.
Early Pujols was pretty out there. And it's like, I don't know if it's just because he's Dominican and like it's a kind of a funny name. But Albert Pujols is a right-handed slugger. I mean, he's got what, 500 home runs? Over 500 home runs, that was the big deal. Like, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, is Albert Pujols. Like the St. Louis years, that first half of his career.
Pujols had over 700 home runs.
Did he? That was the whole deal?
703, yeah. But he never, Pujols' best season was a 9.4 WAR season where he hit 327 with 47 homers and 135 RBIs.
Yeah, what a bum.
So, what is that? 47 and 135, hitting 3-something?
Look, I think Judge is amazing. Like I'm not trying to like for me, you said for this generation. Also, remember there's also Mike Trout.
Judge is about to have his third 10.8 plus WAR season in 4 years.
Then maybe he is. Maybe it's just hard for me to fathom that.
311, 62 homers, 131 RBIs in 2022. 58 homers, 144 RBIs, hitting 322 last year. That is significantly better than Albert Pujols.
You know who I'd actually love, now that you say it? I'd love to see him against like peak A-Rod as well. Like Texas A-Rod. Well, we'll get to that. Yeah. So, yes, of this generation, clearly the best bat in hand slug. Like, he's the most feared hitter in baseball.
I think so. But moving on to our last hot card of the week. This one's going to be like 1 minute because we're running out of time. And it's Darius Garland, Cleveland Cavaliers guard. His 2019 Prism-based rookie card in a PSA 10 is up 66% to $20 per card over the past week, just in time for Cleveland's playoff push. He is averaging 20 points a game, 2.9 rebounds, 6.7 assists on 47% shooting. Cleveland's the #1 seed in the East and is getting the Miami Heat in the first round of the playoffs. They have the second best record in the league to just only the Thunder.
Feel the Thunder.
I think if a Cleveland-Boston Eastern Conference Finals would be cinematic. I think it would be an absolute barn burner. If I had to predict it though, I think our finals this year is going to be OKC and Boston. That is my prediction. I think OKC is going to come through that in 6 or 7 games. Your thoughts on Darius Garland and the Cavs?
Like him a lot. He's like a really steadying force for that team with really good numbers. Mobley and Jared Allen provide some force down below. Donovan Mitchell, the spider, provides the flash. And then Garland just sort of like fills in everything else. He's tough. Loved him at Vanderbilt, truly. I remember watching him when he was here in town playing USC. I was like, that kid knows what he's doing. Would love to see them make, at least an ECF, Eastern Conference Finals run. And I think that'd be really good basketball. Like,
oh yeah,
Cleveland versus Boston, like it's not really a juicy matchup cities-wise.
Right.
But in terms of basketball, mostly because of
I think it's a juicy Eastern city. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than Boston.
Oh, for the Celtics, yeah. I'm talking about for Cleveland. Like, The only thing better would be like 76ers or like Knicks
Yeah, exactly.
or Heat.
Yeah, Knicks would be pretty badass.
I love Evan Mobley. Like again, I don't want to turn this to him.
Is this the first time the Cavs have been like the favorites out of the East since LeBron? Gotta be.
I think they've only been the favorites when LeBron's been there.
Yeah, that's true. But that'll do it for us on this week's episode of Hot in the Hobby. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel down below, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. It will alert you when our next video posts. And let us know in the comments if anyone is surprising you or you like their cards going forward. We do respond. Who do you guys have making the NBA Finals this year? So until next time, I'm Mr. Hollywood. That's Joe Nasty, and we'll see you for the granddaddy of them all. It's our Invest Cards of the Week coming at you tomorrow afternoon. But until then, the boys are